So here I'm getting ready to go ahead and get started with our repurposed items. My husband has got some leftover woods when he made his bar, some right here. And I also have a pallet that we had when we had to deliver when we first moved into the house. So that kind of just sat on the back here, propped up against the wall. So I figure I'll go ahead and do something with this. And this box here is actually a packaging when I bought my wreath. There was my shell wreath. So yeah, I saved it and I figure I could probably use it as a planter for anything like my spinach or something. So here's the palette and some more woods that we have. And this is a portion of his old bar. It was quite thick. I couldn't cut it. So my husband was sweet enough to cut it for me. And so here he's got it cut. I used it as a back for my compost bin. And I just took a couple of wood and just kind of cut it to size and made just a box. I don't have a bottom for it because I just didn't feel like I need it. So yeah, it's not going to be a long usage for it. So however the wood gonna last through the weather, so that's the purpose of it. So and it's just gonna be my compost bin, and later on my kids are gonna join me in, and they're gonna take this box and they're gonna go ahead and add their creative artistic creative side of them. So they decided, Brooklyn had ended up painting a picture of Ponyo on one side, and Caitlin had went ahead and labeled my box that says warm warm poop box or something like that. Anyways, I'll try and show a clip at the end. And so yeah, this is just where I'm gonna place it. And the past couple of weeks I've been saving some of our kitchen scrap, like eggshells, vegetable peel, stuff like that. Nothing dairy. So, and I just throw it in my compost bin or in my little box that I put on my counter. And when that's full, I just dump it there. I'm going to put some worm in there to help me decompose all that, and then we'll end up some really good soil for our garden. So in the old house I had that, as well as the chickens, you all know that. So but now we're coming into almost a year to the new home, and I'm just now starting to get my gardening mojo back, should I say. So I'm really excited, and I'm so glad that I finally had the time to really work on this area of my in my house. So I love gardening, and we love I rather just grow our own vegetable if I can. In the old house I did. So here I had purchased some various type of fruits already. I have plum. A friend had given me orange, and lemon, and I have a couple of orange and calamansi tree, and then I also have some blueberries, and I purchased some elderberries and some grapes. So that's gonna be work in the process, and it's gonna happen within the next couple of days here. I just don't know exactly where to put them in my yard. So, but the pallets was a really good material for me to kind of start with, because I didn't know where to put all our seedlings at. So I think this was gonna be a good place, and it's not going to be too big. I think the size came out just perfect. I think it's going to be just enough for now to get things started, and I'm sure it'll develop eventually. The side at the house I wanted to add chicken coop there eventually, so I'm still kind of playing it in my mind exactly how I want to place everything there. So it's going to just take a little bit of time, And first I got to get the garden started, especially with this quarantine we have plenty of time. So here's the palette. I'm about to just tear it apart. And once you got it all tear apart, now be very careful not to break them apart, because I mean, like, break the pieces. Keep them the length, so you can use a lot of it. So I ended up using a total of 8 of this strip, and then the thicker portion of it, the inner gut of the pallet, I should say, those were the thick wood, and I don't know what the measurement is. That's what I use as my base, the legs of it, and that's where I attached the frame on my, or that's the, rather I should say that's my frame, and then all this strips of wood is what where I attached them to. So anyways, here I'm just kind of making sure I remove all those nails, so we can have a nice clean strip of wood to work with. And it would be hard to have all those in our wood to kind of work with. So just cleaning up your pallets at this point, making sure you remove all of your nails. And be very careful, please. My husband was ready to grab my nails and dump them in the bin. I said, no, I like to put them in the bag and then throw them in the bin, because we are just so bad on catching those nails on our tires all the time. I don't know about you guys. It's always like there's always some nails or screws in our tire for whatever reason. So, but anyways, yeah, it took me a little bit of time to remove all those. There was a lot of nails. So, but yeah, just be careful with those nails, and make sure you dispose of them properly, so nobody ends up running over them and causing some inconvenience to yourself or to others. So anyways, yeah, so we're just basically here preparing our beautiful wood palette. so here I am. I finally am able to figure out exactly how I want to create the planter. I decided what length I wanted. I don't want it too low, and yet I don't want a little gap underneath my my planter, because I want to be able to see under there and clean under. Plus, if it's too low, there's a tendency for some critters to kind of hide under there. So I don't want any of that stuff. So I want to make sure it's big enough to where I can see it all the time. I can keep an eye on it, making sure that there's nothing is hibernating there or something. You know what I mean? So just putting the last side portion of it. Like I said, I used a total of 8 strips, so that 6 on the longer side, and then I cut the other 2 to fit the size, 1 on each pieces. I cut into 3. So how I decided is kind of just based on what available materials I have left. That's how I decided how wide I want it. Clearly, I used the whole strip to the length of my planter, but the side, because I only have 2 good pieces of wood left over, I just kind of cut each in 3. So, and that's what I use for each side. So yeah, just finishing it up now on the one side, and as you can see on the back, my 2 girls had joined me, and they're working on that compost bin. They're painted, they're drawing and doing their painting. We also painted the compost box to match the color of the house, and I'm gonna do that same thing with this planter. I'm almost done. The only thing that I need to do next would be to put the bottom base of our planter, and I didn't know how to really put it on there. You will see once I flip it, I use the last piece of the pallet, good piece of pallet, to just kind of use it as a brace on the bottom, so it'll have a good support for my soil when I put it on there. And the wood I have available, there are two pieces. You see the base, I have it laid out. They're actually two pieces, so I just kind of lined them up together as close as they possibly fit good together, and then I flipped my box over just to kind of get the measurement, and traced it, and then I went from there and took my saw and just cut it. So and then you'll see here on the, yeah, here's the finished. I think it turned out really good. Hubby's out fixing the lights there, but it turned out really good. Now the only thing I need to do is put the fabric lined on there so my soil doesn't fall through. So anyways, yeah, there it is. It turned out really good. I'm excited to start putting my plant there. So now we're on the next day, and there's my cloth. So I'm gonna go ahead. That's really is the last finishing that I need to do on this planter, just so I can go ahead and start dumping my soil. As you can see, I'm ready to put the soil, my potting soil in there. So yep, that's the last thing. We just need to lay this garden cloth on there, and the length of this cloth, or the width of this cloth, is actually perfect. It fits perfectly, so all I needed to do is cut it to the length, and then I just staple it on all four walls, so to make sure that my soil will remain in our planter. It really turned out really good, and I was quite proud of it. It wasn't all that hard. I think the hard labor would be the breaking and cutting of your woods, and breaking up the pallets. So, and I thought I had my camera on, but unfortunately I didn't catch any of that breaking part of the pallets and cutting some of the wood. So, but it was quite easy. It wasn't hard at all. As long as you feel comfortable using all the saw, then you'll be fine. It's easy. Anybody can do it. So I enjoyed making this project. It was funny, after I had finished it and I loved the way it looked, I had told my husband, we need to find another piece of pallet so I can do another box. So it was fun. I enjoyed making it. I really don't mind getting my hands dirty when it comes into something like this. So I love creating project like this, quick and easy. I think I did it in the one afternoon. I was able to finish this. Really, this is the next day, and all I had to do was just add this cloth on there. So, and here we go, finished, all done. And I went ahead and transferred some of the plant here, and you guys remember the green beans, and then this is the cucumber that I just purchased. So guys, that's it. It's all done. I mean, this was just an afternoon project for me, and it was so much fun. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to do my next pallet planter. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to just write them down at the comments below. Thank you again. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.